So welcome, we're going to go ahead and learn how to use a L298N motor controller today, and it's this chip right here. We're going to use an Arduino. It's not too hard to use, so we're going to first build the circuit. So we're going to use one motor, although typically you could use two, technically you could use four if you parallel two and parallel two motors, but just one for starts. And this will be useful for when you're making a robot to be able to go forward and backwards. Last year's group didn't have to do this, but this year's group we figured, why not? Let's make it a little more challenging and unique. So we got a battery here, an Arduino, and a motor. This battery is important because this is going to need a separate power supply than the Arduino's. So we're upping the voltage going to the motor, and we're also stopping inductive spikes through this circuit from going back to our Arduino and messing it up. We're also not going to have it draw too much current and short circuit the brains. So when you're driving your car, it just rams into a wall at full speed because you can't tell it not to. So this is a very useful circuit. We're going to go ahead and start building it right now, actually. So it's very simple. We've got output 1, we got output 3 and 4. The only thing you care about is motors go here or here. This is for motor 1. This is for motor 2. Again, we only have one motor, so here's our motor. Now these are screw terminals, so you just use a screwdriver, loosen it as much as you need, and then you get the wires in there. So here's my motor's wires. These might pop out, so I might end up having to hold them though. These are very thin gauge. So we're going to add the motor first, because why not? Technically you can add these in any order, but we'll start with the motor. Again, we're adding motor to these motor 1 output terminal first. Cool. Now we're going to go in and add the everyone's favorite thing ever. Let's add a gear to that motor or something so we can see what's going on. So let's see, does that fit? That looks like it should fit, maybe. Yeah, it'll fit. Okay, well, let's mark it so we know what's going on even more. So we'll take a nice little marker here and give us a little indicator of what it's doing. Yeah, so now we can see it spin better, right? Simple solutions are the best. So we go in and add this little gear here to our motor. Try to. There we go. Cool. Now we have a little marked motor there to see if it spins and how it spins, because we're going to have it spin forward and backwards, so we just show the concept. We're not going to use Bluetooth on this one, we just want to understand the concept. So, and you can see the code at the end if you wanted to upgrade your robot with this. So, next step. This 2 pins on the Arduino, I'm going to use pins 6 and 11. P and W pins are preferred for this, so again 11 and 6 down here are connected. Yellow wire goes to pin 6, green wire goes to pin 11 down here. So we take these 2 wires and we're going to plug them in here to these 2 pins. These 2 pins on this controller, let's try to get a nice, yeah. These 2 pins control motor A, these 2 pins control motor B. We don't have a motor B, so just plug these in. So when these do certain inputs, as we'll call them, it'll cause this motor to do things in response. And now we have this wire. This wire is ground. So in order for this to work, they have to share a common ground. So we're going to put this ground into the ground slot, which is right there. G and D, even though it's hard to read. I don't think the camera will be able to show that. But I promise you, can I get a good angle on it? Not really. There's a G and D down there. So this middle pin is G and D. And we don't need a 5-volt pin technically for what we're doing. So let's make that looser so we can fit this in. The last thing we're going to add here is the battery. Before we add the battery, let's go ahead and unplug it and just add the cord that goes to the battery. So this cord will hook up to our 9-volt. So we're going to add 9 volts to the VN pin, which is this top one. Or bottom one, I guess, depending on what way you're looking at it. And this ground pin, again, goes right in line with this ground pin. They're shared. So you want them both in the same spot, and you want them both connected. Nice, and yeah, cool. Again, we're not using this pin. This would technically be if you had 5 volts you wanted to control it, or if you want to control it from the Arduino Uno itself. But that will cause it to short for the motors we're using because they draw too much amps. So that's a no good. So now we're going to go ahead and upload the code. Cool. So now that we've uploaded the code, let's go ahead and now that we've uploaded the code, let's go ahead and you know, add the battery. So once you add the battery here, you should have the motor spinning. Hopefully, unless I messed up. Okay. Oh, the Arduino's not hooked up. I unplugged it. My bad. My bad. There we go. Oh, it came unplugged. So this motor spins very fast, as you can see. Okay, anyways. You can't really see what way it's spinning unless I slow-mo it, but it's going forward and reverse, I promise. So it spins this way, and then it spins this way. So it's spinning this way first, and then this way. It's kind of hard. I'll put an image on it so you guys can see it better. But yeah, there you go. So that's a motor being controlled with the motor controller that can go forward and in reverse. So yeah. Yeah, I knew the ground wire was going to pop out because it has such a high current draw in the motor. Oh well. Yeah, but there you go. That is the circuit that we're going to use to control our cars this year, so you can go forward and backwards. So that's the improvement we're making. We're no longer going to use relays or anything sketchy like we used to because we didn't have a bunch of motor controllers. But we have them this year, so cool. Let's do it.